With Kirby's 25th anniversary year approaching its end, I wanted to celebrate debatably my favorite video game franchise in some way. What better way than with a video all about my absolute favorite villain of all time, Zero Two. This video shall discuss all kinds of aspects about Zero Two and its living counterpart, Zero. First off, we have Zero, which is the true final boss of Kirby's Dream Land 3, and what came before Zero Two in 1997 in North America and 1998 in Japan. Zero can be encountered by collecting all of the game's heart stars at the end of each stage. After doing so and defeating the game's false final boss, King Dedede, Kirby unlocks level 6, Hyper Zone, and merges the heart stars to form the level up stick. With that, Kirby travels into the Hyper Zone and does battle with Dark Matter. After defeating Dark Matter, Zero appears from a flash of light. Zero reveals itself as a sort of leader for Dark Matter. It has a white sphere for a body, and one somewhat small red eye with a black pupil. It attacks Kirby by ramming into him, forming small dark matter and firing them, slitting its own body and shooting red blobs, or running into Kirby and finishing with flying in the distance and shooting red blobs that splatter onto the screen. Zero can be hurt by Kirby with each heart that Kirby fires from the level up stick. When Zero's life bar depletes to, well, zero, its eye erupts violently from its body and follows Kirby in a last-ditch effort to kill Kirby by ramming into him. Once its eye's life bar is knocked all the way down by Kirby's weapon, Zero's eye tumbles and bleeds until it finally explodes. With Zero defeated, the ominous Dark Ball explodes as well, and Popstar is saved from Zero and Dark Matter's grasp. Fast forwarding a few years to Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards in the year 2000, Zero returns once again as Kirby 64's true final boss, after Kirby collects all of the Crystal Shards. After Miracle Matter's defeat, whom was 64's false final boss, with all shards in hand, the complete crystal fires a beam of light at Ripplestar's queen, expelling a ball of dark mass from her. This ball of darkness rises into space and enlarges to form Darkstar. Kirby and friends then hop onto the Warp Star and fly to Darkstar to settle things once and for all. With some assistance from his friends, Kirby and Ribbon reach the lair of Zero Two. Zero Two appeared to be a reborn version of Zero from Kirby's Dream Land 3. Zero Two shares Zero's white, round body and red eyeball with a black pupil. However, Zero Two's body is imperfectly round, at least within 64's graphics, and its red eye is noticeably larger and different in design. In addition, Zero Two appears now in the form of a fallen angel, with two segmented white wings, each with red feather-like segments at each wing's end. Going along with its reborn theme, Zero Two has a yellow halo and a band-aid on its top. It also has a white spike found at its bottom. Its concept art in the credits looks a bit different from its in-game model. Its wings appear more vein-like in design, and its body appears more like a perfect round shape. Its eye also appears to be shedding a tear of blood. As Kirby and Ribbon begin to take Zero Two on in the final battle, Zero Two dons a false appearance with smaller wings, two black beady eyes, and a red smile-like addition. As Kirby and Ribbon form the Shard Gun, Zero Two casts away its facade and shows its true form. During the battle, Zero Two appears invincible, as shooting the shards from the gun at Zero Two appear to do no damage to its life ball, while it shoots exploding spark energy from its eye at Kirby and Ribbon. When the shards do hit Zero Two's eye, however, it bleeds red and makes a strange sound. After the eye is hit enough times, Zero Two squints in pain. With that, Kirby and Ribbon are now able to fly to the top of Zero Two and shoot at its halo. The halo goes through numerous color changes until it finally breaks. After it breaks and the last shard hits the band-aid, Zero Two flails about and its white spike turns into a long cactus-looking root. Kirby is then able to shoot this area with the gun and finally deal damage to Zero Two's life bar, as Zero Two expels green gas out of its root at Kirby and Ribbon. If Kirby fails to deplete Zero Two's life bar to its end, Zero Two will eventually regain control, and the sequence begins again. After stunning Zero Two, Kirby is also able to fly and shoot away its wingtips. Doing so allows Kirby to go right for the halo instead of shooting the eye. Zero Two will also have a much harder time following Kirby around with its eye, but will continue to shoot as if it was still locked onto him. Once Zero Two's life bar hits zero, Zero Two envelops itself in a white light, and Dark Star explodes, assumingly ending Zero and Dark Matter's reign once and for all. Fun fact, during the Zero Two battle, you can also hold down the L or R buttons to spin the camera around. Why? I don't know. One last fun fact, when you pause during the Zero Two fight, Try Again is replaced with Tough It Out. Pressing this just returns you to the fight. Zero and its reborn form, Zero Two, have become somewhat of a cult hit over the years. There are many examples of fan art and music remixes found on the internet. Looking at it from an outside perspective, people may wonder why others even have any special interest in either of its forms. Both look incredibly simple in design, especially Zero, and are just fought and killed off in their respective games. So, why the hype? Well, first off, while the Kirby series final bosses may look horrific in appearance, Zero and Zero Two stand out in terms of gruesomeness. This is mostly believed upon because of the strange red substance that comes out of both of them. It is all but confirmed to be blood. After all, what else could it be? Although it's not officially stated anywhere, Kirby's Dream Collection for Wii does list animated blood under its ESRB rating, as Zero and Zero Two both appear in the featured Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64, respectively. Zero Two particularly stands out from the other bosses for its theme music that plays in its battle, along with being surrounded by black and dark red colors, as its bright, white, creepy, angelic appearance sharply contrasts with its dark background. Its music is commonly described as being epic, and can also be heard as a sad, perhaps depressing tune, which oddly enough contrasts Zero's music's highly energetic and possible tone of anger. The angelic-like appearance, the tears of blood, the moody music, and the dark background seem to set a stage that can be looked at as creepy, tragic, and epic all at the same time. Something one may not expect from a Kirby game. Another major contribution as to why Zero and Zero Two may have become so popular is that they are completely shrouded in mystery. Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64 are wordless games, in which no dialogue is ever shared with any characters. The official plot can only be physically seen right in front of us as the game plays out, or within any loose little information we could find in the games or guides. With this, however, we could only really find out their names, though Zero Two's name is often mistaken as O2 because of a typo on its enemy info card in Kirby 64. Because of there being so little official information on them, and even dark matter as well, fans speculate possible stories and theories on the characters. Many theories claim that Zero and Zero Two are weak to positive emotions, as Kirby's Love Stick hurt Zero and Dark Matter in Dreamland 3. This could then carry over to Ripple Star's crystal, possibly having the same properties, as the shards fired from Ribbon's gun hurt Zero Two. It was said as well that Dark Matter was jealous of Dreamland's happiness, which prompted it to take Popstar over. When that failed, it perhaps tried again with Zero, and then moved to Ripple Star to try again at exacting revenge with Zero Two. Due to this possible weakness, it is theorized that Zero and Zero Two feel no emotion aside from possibly agony, as Zero and Zero Two aggressively command Dark Matter to abduct planets to spread Zero's misery by possessing others. Zero Two's concept art in 64 seems to be the root of this theory, with its bloody tears symbolizing its pain and inability to enjoy life like others. Along with this, it is also theorized that Zero can also possibly feel loneliness, and it is guessed to be a single lone entity, as it may create dark matter to relieve some of its loneliness, as seen in Dreamland 3. It's not officially known if dark matter exists as its own entity, or if Zero gives each one life. Therefore, Zero could be seen as a godlike figure for dark matter, granting each one life. It's also possible that Zero could see all through each eye of each dark matter, and the whole organization could operate as a hive mind. It is either that, or each dark matter thinks and acts separately, but shares the same motivations with Zero and Zero-2. Even Zero's name seems mysteriously given, as Zero could mean the beginning and/or the end, possibly further fueling its hypothetical loneliness. Zero-2 or even Zero could also physically have the ability to possess beings, as Ripplestar's queen was possessed by dark matter in some way in 64. It could have just been dark matter, or Zero-2 itself, as Zero-2 is fought directly after within the expelled dark matter mask, following being removed by the complete crystal. It's also sometimes believed that Gooey was possessed by Zero's soul to create Zero-2, as Gooey has yet to appear after Dreamland 3, and Zero-2 dons that false appearance before the fight, which strongly resembles Gooey's face. Zero-2's Band-Aid also strongly hints that underneath said Band-Aid lies where Zero's original eye used to be, before erupting from its body in Dreamland 3. Why else would it have a Band-Aid? Unless it just symbolizes being beat up by Kirby before. It is also unknown if dark matter can live without Zero, although it can be seen both times that the large dark ball, assumingly made up of dark matter entities as suggested in Kirby 64, explodes after Zero or Zero-2 die. Suzy or Stardream's clone of dark matter, in Dark Matter Knight form, could raise some eyebrows, even if Meta Nightmare in that game is not considered canon. Dark matter also appears in Kirby Master, which is a minigame in Kirby Mass Attack, where it appears larger and has a red eye, like Zero instead of its usual orange one. It appears to operate without Zero here, or could perhaps even be Zero in a different form, because of its different red eye, although once again, Kirby Master isn't canon. However, all of this further adds to the mystery. Zero's influence is also commonly perceived to be within some final bosses after Zero-2 in 2000. After Zero-2, bosses began to die and resurrect in soul forms, much like Zero did between Dreamland 3 and 64. Draucia's soul and Magolor's soul, particularly, have often been perceived to be under Zero's influence. Magolor's soul is most commonly seen this way for its strange red eye within its mouth that occasionally appears. Many final bosses after Zero-2 have also been seen to have one large eye, like Darkmind, theorized to be a mirror world equivalent of Zero. There's also Dark Nebula and Dark Crafter. All of these, along with their single eyes, also share dark within their names. This causes fans to point to Zero and call out a possible relation. Speaking of Dark Nebula, it is actually called Dark Zero in Japan, and there is this curious article on it in the 20th anniversary fanbook exclusive to Japan. It reveals Dark Nebula apparently might have some sort of actual relation to dark matter and Zero. I can read and understand a little Japanese, but unfortunately I'm not fluent, so I cannot confirm what this article truly says. There have also been other acts of possession after dark matter was assumed to be done for good, as dark matter would constantly possess others. A couple examples being Magolor's crown being called possessed, and King Dedede being possessed in Kirby Triple Deluxe, all further fueling these theories. All of this sometimes leads fans to believe that Zero influences every single negative thing that happens to Dreamland and Popstar. These same people, along with some others, also believe Zero will return again to cause havoc, as the commonly named Zero-3. So, could Zero one day return again as some sort of Zero-3? Like a number of other things concerning Zero and Zero-2, it's really not known. There have been many possible hints towards it, seen in the previously discussed final bosses, and Nintendo and HAL do seem to be aware of the hype behind Zero and Zero 2, with remixes available in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and the Kirby Cafe, Dark Matter's cameo appearances in later games, and Zero's sticker found in Kirby Planet Robobot could also all be possible hints, or it could just be Nintendo having fun, which they've been known to do before. The soon-to-come Kirby Star Allies for Switch has gotten fans to start speculating again, because of the act of possession being shown once more, this time with strange dark purple aura. However, we will all know for sure in due time. Zero may return in Kirby Star Allies in the future afterwards, or it may never return and remain to be remembered and adored by its fans for its simple yet possibly in-depth character design, Zero 2's amazing music track, the overall mystery it embodies, and all of this put together. Either way, Zero will live on with all of its fans, whether it officially reappears or not.